I'm making this video to document the spam that I received. This was received on January the 30th, 2012. Today's date is February the 1st, 2012. Now, if we take and put our mouse over this link and hit the properties, we can see that this spammer used a Twitter URL shortener. And I'm just going to take for now and just put this out here so we can see what was going on, because we're going to be coming back to this a few times. But this is the URL that came out of this. I have the original email as proof to prove this. We take this, copy it, put it in our browser. See, you get a pop-up, and you see that the domain is freefunonlinequizzes.com. Take and copy that domain and put it over here in the DNS goodies whois lookup. And there's the domain. The registrar is Demanic Dolphin, and the owner is the parking place in Westminster, Colorado. And there's a phone number. For the record, I have contacted the owners of this and informed them of the spam that I've received on yesterday's date, January the 30th, 2012. Now, go back to this again, and I'm going to prove that this spammer used a spinner, because if we take and go back and copy this URL that they used of Twitter's and put this back here in the window, watch. Now it comes up freefunonlinequiz.com. For copy domain, put it over here. Look at this again. Free Fun Online Quiz. The last one that we looked at was Free Fun Online Quizzes. That's a different domain. So we put this in there. Free Fun Online Quiz. Once again, the registrar is Domain Dolphin, and it was created just a few days ago, basically on the 18th, 2012. We go down and look who the owner is. Once again, it's the parking place in Westminster, Colorado. There's the information. Now, if we go back, copy this once again, the same URL, again, I can prove that the spammer used a spinner. And all the redirects are going to domains owned by the parking place. So we're going to put it in again and watch what happens. Now comes up exam xonlinetesting.com. So it's examxonlinetesting.com. This was sent by the spammer. There is no name on this email claiming who it was sent by. There's no way to remove my email address from this. The spammer stole my email address. This email address has not been given out to anyone. It has only been used to register for an account that I have. So this person had no right using my email address. Now when we go back to check this out, examxonline testing, we put this in the whois lookup. Once again, registrar Demanic Dolphin, and the parking place is the owner once again of this domain, which the spammer used to promote. we're going to try again and see if it spins to another domain. Go to here, claim it, copy shortcut, put this in the window. Best online surveys for money.com. Another one. And the same offers keep coming up. Dynamic Dolphin. And once again, this is owned by the parking place. So I've shown that this one link, this equals this URL shortener, and when you put this in a browser, it spins to many different URLs, and all of them are owned by the same company, the parking place in Westminster, Colorado. On the 4th of February, I received another one of these spam messages. Congratulations, you've won 2 iPhones. And this link goes to another one of those Twitter redirects. So I wrote an email to abuse@dynamicdolphin.com, admin@dynamicdolphin.com, the compliance and online security manager at mediabreakaway.com, and admin at the parking place about receiving more spam. And I sent this shortener, which was in the spam that I just showed before, and how it was redirecting to all these domain names owned by the parking place. I told them how I considered the email to be harassment and an invasion of my privacy. I pointed out how the email below violates the United States Code Title 47, Section 227, blah, 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 on several counts. 1. Sender sent the email without my permission and stole my email address, most likely using harvesting software. Sender did not provide a name and address in their email as required by law. No opt-in or remove method was provided as required by law. And as you can see, I sent these to these people in my email. I told them how I made a video, the one that you're watching now, documenting this. I asked them if they found out who's responsible for sending these. I put their who is information in this email for all these different ones I found that this Twitter link was redirecting to, which all were owned by the parking place. I decided to post an article about this on my website and post all these different spam messages that I received on here so people can see how bad that this matter is. And then I decided to check and see if this link was still working. When I clicked the link, I found out that it wasn't. It had been disabled. So then I did a whois lookup for one of these domains. And as you can see here, it has their contact information. And all of these along here has their contact information, the parking place. And one at a time, I put each one of these in and I did a whois lookup. And I found that instead of them getting back to me and finding out who was responsible for sending the spam, or writing back and giving me some kind of a status update at all on this, what they did later on from the time I wrote this email, they took and put privacy information on all of these. You see this one here? cfreequizzes.com. They put privacy information so nobody could find out who they are anymore. But if you go back up here, earlier that day, before I wrote the email and everything, complaining about the spam I received, you could still look it up and see who they were. And you could write to them. And you could call them. But after the email I sent complaining about this, then the response was to hide their information. Right here. All information hidden. And that was the case on all of these. Now I'm not saying that this parking place is the one who sent the spam, but it sure doesn't look good. When I wrote to them about the spammer received, all the redirects were going to domains that they owned, And then they never did write back to me and tell me that they found who was responsible or anything. They simply hid their information.